Yes, Tom. Over in the news and some medical stuff, our Australians' uptake stat on doing the annual influenza vaccine is at an all-time low it's seen in the last few years.
Really?
So I guess people wanting to do this vaccine, they're a little bit hesitant. People aren't doing it this winter. So you're seeing a few more sicknesses, a few more colds, things like that happening.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people around going down with the flu at the moment.
Yeah, heaps of people at work, one by one, someone will come in and it starts a chain reaction. So it is happening a lot as it gets colder, but this is a 10% drop in people doing the influenza shot compared to last year.
Have you had your shot?
I have not yet, no, so I'm a part of that stat.
Nor have I. Not because I don't want it, it's just finding the time.
Yeah, just haven't got around to it. So we are a part of that stat, so we need to get on that ASAP if we don't want to get a cold anytime soon. Other than that, Donald Trump, there's a big talk about his legal case happening. So it's going to happen on the July 11th.
Yeah.
His actual legal proceeding to have a look at the fraudulent claims he's been accused of.
34
the last
counts he's
few
been
years.
charged guilty with.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, surprise, really.
Oh, big time. You just have a look at the bloke, right? But if you do look at it, though, they are lower level crimes. So it's unlikely that he will go to jail as represented by New York there. So
I doubt he'll go.
Yeah, they are on the lower level of things. And in terms of stealing, all these articles posting about the big rocking horse riot,
Yes.
if they're making it look like the big rocking horse has been stolen by a bunch of masterminds that have grabbed a trail and put this huge souvenir.
As in the horse itself.
Yeah, in Gumaraka. That's what it looks like all over the internet. However, no, the rocking horse hasn't been stolen. It's $200 from the gift shop. So everyone can settle down. We haven't had the beloved horse taken away on a massive trailer.
Yeah. Big helicopter is flown in.
It's a huge operation. No, it was $200 from the gift shop, unfortunately. But yeah, hope they're doing all right. Tom, a story has come out to talk about this robot that has done the unthinkable and it has solved a Rubik's Cube in record-breaking time.
Record-breaking time. Well, what was the record? Was it set by a human?
So the human record would be away from this. It would be like quite distant because this is by a robot and it's extremely rare. The record set by a robot before this was 0.8 seconds.
0.8 seconds.
So that's what a robot did in 2018. Jesus. And now a new one has beat that record for the Rubik's Cube world holding title.
What is it?
0.305 seconds.
Far out. I've just looked up the human Rubik's Cube record, 3.13 seconds.
Wow.
So this robot is almost a whole 3 seconds quicker.
Yeah. No, so it's crazy, isn't it? 0.305 seconds. It's equivalent to the length of a human blink is how quickly this robot is fixing the Rubik's Cube.
Jesus. We need to stop these robots. They're getting out of hand.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, right? Because this is obviously impressive. Let's not knock the robot. It is very impressive what it's done. But I think we should instill, Tom, we should, lay out the facts and let these robots know that they can't be good at everything. They're going to be bad at some stuff. Yes, you're good at the Rubik's Cube, but don't think you can come in here with your advanced technology and do an uprising because there's stuff you're going to be bad at and we want to address it.
Look, we know it's a Monday. We know, some people are feeling probably a bit dusty, but we want you to just get a bit silly with us this morning. We're going to open up the phone lines here. What would robots be bad at?
I mean, this is all in a ploy that when they do uprise, we have a list of things right here to turn around and say, hey, well, have you tried nunchucks? I don't think your hands would be able to handle the dexterity of using nunchucks, or just according to the Tom Callum list of bad activities robots will be really bad at. I remember one time I was at a restaurant in Melbourne and they had these robot waiters, and the waiters would come over holding your food and everything. It was like a Korean fried chicken place. Waiters come over, the robot comes down to my table, completely botches the order, right? Brings the wrong food over. The robot has? Yeah, brings the wrong food over to our table. I'm like, that's not mine. And then an actual human waiter came over and I kid you not, told the robot off as if it was a human and was like, what are you doing? Get over there. I smacked it.
And then I was going to say, did he have a roll-up newspaper? He was smacking the robot with?
He did give it a little smack and then he programmed us somehow on his phone or the tablet to go to the actual table. But yes, once again, maybe waitering isn't a robot's strong suit and we need to make it aware to them.
Yeah, well, I guess you kind of want that human touch,
Definitely.
When it comes to stuff like that. I mean, another thing I think I would want the human touch with, it's a bit left field, but I don't think I would trust a robot doing like a circumcision.
Right.
It seems just a little too dangerous, right? I know that they're meant to have this laser focus, like they know the points and stuff, and I trust them to do my tattoos, but I don't know if I trust them down there.
It could be dicey, but...
And also, if the robots are planning on taking over, that is a great place to set up shop for them.
It's also just like, I would love to turn around and tell a robot, hey, you're really good. You're going to be really bad at circumcising. None of us trust you. Get out.
James from Seaford on the line. James, good morning. What do you reckon robots would be bad at?
I'd like to see a robot lay carpet.
Lay carpet, yeah. So is that what you do, James?
I certainly do. Everyone
Awesome.
loves to get up in the morning and put their feet on some soft carpet in the morning.
Exactly right. And why would the robot be bad at that?
Well, I'd like to see them lay it out, cut it twice, tuck it and fold it. There's
Yeah.
no way you can really get all the measurements, all the edges, all the wardrobes, everything's done in one. Every room is different.
And I bet the banter at Smoko would be pretty bad too with the robot. I probably just wouldn't get along with it, in the breaks.
Oh, we have all types of work sites, Muslims, everything, that pray, do everything, but a robot which just work straight through. So, but
Yeah.
you still can go do it.
Nah,
You
human's
can't
job.
smoke at work these days.
Good on you, James. Yeah. All right, there we go. First thing robots would be bad at. Oh, we had hula hooping from Peyton before. They're bad at hula hooping, laying carpet. Jaden in Virginia, what do you reckon robots would be bad at? Hello, Jaden?
Morning, boys.
Morning.
Who cares what they can do a Rubik's Cube in, mate? I'd like to see them do a brekkie show like you lads.
I'd kind of like to see it too. Maybe a day off.
Oh, yeah.
If you know any robots that are pretty handy and equipped.
Wouldn't mind. We can maybe give it a test. Some mornings can be a real struggle, actually. Good on you, Jaden. Hey, Mark in Clearview, what are robots bad at? What do you reckon?
CPR.
CPR,
Ooh,
yeah, good
that's a
call.
good one,
Also,
yeah.
very important. Who cares about the Rubik's Cube when it comes to saving a life? That's what I want to see.
I'd be scared the robot would press down too hard on a CPR. That would be my issue with it. What do you think, Mark?
Well, they can't give you breaths.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. That's also a good point.
Yeah, you don't want to be known as the robot kisser, do you?
Yeah. And what if the robot's stuck in a smashed watermelon setting or something and you just, mashed yourself? You want to make sure that thing's on the right calibration.
No, great call, Mark. Keep the robots out from doing CPR as well. All right, we're getting a pretty good list together here, Callum.
We are going to wrap up here, though, with another Mark from Hillbank. What's the go? What would robots be bad at?
Morning, lads. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, mate. How you going?
Good. So this one was actually foreshadowed on The Big Bang Theory. There was a guy on there, Howard, who invented a robot for some self-pleasure. So I reckon prostitution's probably topping the list there, mate. They wouldn't be good at doing that.
Once again, also check the calibration that it's not stuck on mashed potato maker. You're in the hospital.
It didn't end up good. He ended up going to the ER with it squirrel gripped onto his manhood.
Right, yeah. There would be a few malfunctions and stuff, though, but there actually are. This isn't like, I saw this on the news. It's not me doing deep dive research, but I'm pretty sure in Japan they have robots for this already. So
Right.
see how that goes.
Good on you, Mark. I mean, I guess we have to keep the robots off Hanson Road. Keeping things fresh in the bedroom is something that is really key to a healthy relationship.
Sure.
Or so they tell me. But it's common practice for long-term couples wanting to try something new and usually start off small, right? You build your way up. No one's going straight away and ordering a swing and getting that installed.
I don't know, I reckon some people might jump the gun a little bit, but generally not.
No, but the classic, I guess it's a classic kink that a lot of couples try and, sort of start off on is sexual strangulation or choking.
Yeah.
Over in America, they did a survey and found out that 50% of female college students have experienced choking in the bedroom.
Sorry, it's just like crazy. And this article's popping up everywhere because there's heaps of science behind it and going into the health concerns with this. But just when I read that stat where it's like 58% of female college students, where did they test? A sorority house? Like, where are they going over there? You know what I mean? It's just a funny stat that's laid in there.
Yeah, okay. But we're here this morning to address choking and the possible dangers of it after new research shows that it could possibly lead to brain damage.
Yes. I mean, having a look at it, it is, the science behind it is that you are depriving neurons or brain cells of that oxygen. They shrivel and die, and then they go to other sources in the bloodstream to, affect heart tissues, kidneys, stuff like that.
Yeah, so the study, it was carried out by a sexual and reproductive health researcher, Dr. Debbie Herbenick, and she basically tested people who had been choked in the last 30 days to people who hadn't been choked, and realised that the people that had been were experiencing cognitive changes, which was impacting their memory and resulting in a bit of memory loss.
Yeah.
And then it's, yes, like you said, the risk of choking is, going without oxygen in the brain. It's apparently you can go as little as 10 seconds and that can cause you to pass out 10 seconds without oxygen.
So that's what it's saying here, that literally that little bit of time. And then if you extend that to, prolonged stuff that could be 20 minutes or whatever, it could be fatal or, irreparable brain damage. So really interesting stuff.
Yeah. And it's the build up as well of how many times it's happening in a day or, in a week as well, how many times the choking goes on. It can be pretty dangerous. And this is to sort of, I guess, talk more so to the youth, this study, because so many teenagers and young adults out there think it's harmless fun, right? But I didn't realise, but even in the BDSM communities, strangulation has been off limits. It's like it's almost rare, like a niche behaviour in the BDSM community. It's been off limits for years and years, though, because of how dangerous it can be.
Look, dangerous stuff. Maybe it's time we do go to the swings. Let's branch out.
Callum, I think one of the world's most important jobs are teachers.
Definitely.
They set the bar. They're the ones educating the kids and, the future of the world. So when you hear of them teaching and, I guess pushing their own personal agenda, it can be a little worrying.
Yeah, I guess, teachers have lives outside of their own. And of course, they're going to instill a lot of their own values onto the kids. That's what you want as parents, for teachers to be good role models. But yep, some things will slip through the cracks a little bit. You're like, are you really teaching my kid that?
Yes, and it is worrying when you do find out about this, especially when it's something as insane as this. And it's I've got to talk about my sister, who is a teacher.
Right, so you're throwing your sister under the bus.
Throwing her under the bus because I found out some of her teachings and how she is teaching her kids in her class to eat their chips, as in crisps, like your Shapes, your, Smiths, all of that.
Yeah, so obviously this isn't an inbuilt lesson, they're not, we haven't been in school a while. I don't know, is eating chips on the curriculum now? It's gotten really easy at schools these days.
So what she's teaching them is to eat chips she's taught them a little song and it's like, you lick the flavour, you eat the chip, you lick the flavour. She's teaching these kids to lick the whole flavouring off of the chip and then eat the chip with no flavouring.
Not about it at all.
No, so now there's like these 20 kids running around her school just licking people's chips and eating them.
How many parents are on the phone to the principal? Why? I need to speak to the person in charge here.
Why is my son licking all the chips?
Yeah, I just reached into a bowl of Jats. There's no flavour on
it. That's funny, because that actually reminds me of our boss, Sophie. Her sister apparently licks the flavouring off chips, but she'll put them back. She won't eat the chip afterwards. She puts the chip back after licking the flavour.
And then apparently someone was a culprit of going to the house, eating a Dorito with no flavour, just saliva. Yeah, it's gross. It's a gross image. But this is the thing that your sister is teaching, so we need to, do our service on the radio and tell kids, like, that's not how you eat a chip.
Yeah, it needs to be called out. And that's what we want to do. We want to call out all these strange eating habits, Adelaide. What are some of the weird eating habits you've seen?
You know what's a weird one that I saw recently, and I feel like I used to do it as a kid, but not anymore. When you have a Magnum or an ice cream like that, eating all the chocolate off of and then going for the ice cream. So you pretty much peel the ice cream and then go for it, which is such a weird one. But I saw an adult doing that recently.
Yeah, but it wasn't just peeling the chocolate off, then licking the ice cream. He took all the chocolate off the Magnum and then put the whole ice cream in and just shooped it off.
Yeah. Quite an impressive feat, actually. If it was happening at a freak show, I'd pay for it. On the streets, I don't want to see it.
There was a bit of an air about a duck or something. I don't know. Plenty of people getting involved with this one. Somebody's texted in here saying, bloke at my work, won't name names, Matt.
Yep.
Eats fruit with the skin on, like bananas, kiwi fruit skin. Jeez. Not sure if he enjoys it or if it's for shock value, Got to say, eating the skin, we were talking about this off air, eating the skin of a kiwi fruit is totally not fine.
No, I think it's insane. I don't think it's fine at all.
It's edible.
Kiwi,
Most
it's edible,
people eat
but it's a weird texture. It's all furry and stuff.
But eating the skin of a banana, that's where I'll draw the line.
Yeah,
you said you know someone who ate the skin of an orange.
Yeah, I know some guy that eats, the orange peel. So if you have it in wedges, he'll suck all the orange off normally, and then you'll see him secretly pop a bit of skin in his mouth.
Let's go to Salisbury East. We got Scarlett on the line. Scarlett, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Tom and Callum. Good, thank you.
Now, Scarlett, what is this weird eating habit? Is it one of yours, or is it something you've witnessed?
It's one of my sisters. She eats tuna with strawberries.
Right, tuna and a fruit. How does that go down? Have you been tempted to try it at all?
I haven't tried it. I've tried another one, but she seems to really like it. It's weird.
Yeah, I definitely think it's weird.
See, I think it sounds weird on paper, but you can get the tuna with mango. So I'm starting to think maybe she's onto something, Scarlett. Maybe you should give it a go. Don't knock it till you try it.
What flavour tuna does she? She normally has like tomato and onion tuna with it.
Tomato and onion with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Now, that
okay.
is
Well,
bizarre.
that's where
When
we're
you
gonna
start
draw the
mixing that
line.
with the tropical fruits, it's a bit off, right?
Good on you, Scarlett. Thanks for getting involved, mate. Hey, we got Ian from Oakton. Ian, what eating habit are we calling out?
This is my young daughter, fellas. She loves to eat pizzas by first of all eating all of the topping.
Right.
And then she likes to lick the sauce off the base.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And then she finally eats the base at the end.
Right, so it's like almost reverse making a pizza, just deassembling it so it's just straight bread without the sauce anymore and just going for it.
Ian, where has she picked this up from?
I mean, I don't... well, certainly not me. I just eat pizza, one piece at a time, all of the topping and the base combined. So this is just something she's created on her own.
Yeah, I guess if you don't like, Hawaiian pizza, you can palm it off to her and she'll just take the toppings off, do the job for you.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, good on you, Ian. Thanks for getting involved, mate.
Louise in Glengarry, tell us, what's the weird eating habit?
Good morning, guys.
G'day.
Morning.
So I was in heavy traffic, sitting bumper to bumper, and I look over at this, just looking around as usual, look over at this lady, a very well-presented lady in a very expensive car with a small bung fritz. She's just ripped the wrapper off and started eating it like an animal. And it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. But then even worse, I noticed she had a little boy in the back who was about 5, and he's doing the same thing. So he must have gone through the drive-through, got himself a bung fritz, and oh my God, it was just, it horrified me.
Louise, did he have his own bung fritz, or were they passing it back and forth?
Yeah, he had his own, she had her own, and they both were eating it the same. Just ripped the wrapper off the top and just holding it like a lollipop and just eating it.
I would not want to see the crime scene of that kid's lunchbox, just tip to toe in bung fritz.
Imagine the smell of the car.
Yeah, need some mints. Tom, we don't condone stealing in any way on this show.
No.
But there are some things that you could be caught stealing with that is just embarrassing, right? I mean, if you were a villain and you're going to a villain convention and, you got a bunch of people there being like, I stole an artifact from Egypt. It was from the museum, thousands of years old.
You've got Gru there who's got the whole moon.
Yeah, great stuff. Big accolades in the villain world, not to condone them, but, they put a decent effort in.
Yeah.
This is one of those that is the complete opposite. I wouldn't even rock up to the villain convention with these stats.
What have they done? What's going on?
This bloke over in England, right, has come attention in the news, and it's even more embarrassing because it's in the news too for such a petty crime. He's been caught stealing 17 cans of Pringles.
17 cans
And it wasn't
Pringles.
even in one strike. Like you said, Gru got the moon in one hit. He did this on multiple occasions. He turned into a bit of a return to the scene of the crime kind of guy. Kept on going to the same Pringle aisle.
He did not go to the same store.
He went a few hours after one of the incidences. Must have smashed through the sour and cream chives or whatever and thought, I need another flavour.
Feeling original.
Yeah, goes back to the aisle 2 hours later and then police caught him. It's turned into a news story.
Yeah, all these empty Pringle cans have fallen out of his backpack. I don't know how they got there, officer.
Yeah.
Callum, we got to have a chat about the weekend. Obviously, Friday night, a huge night for sports here in Adelaide with the Matildas facing off against China. It was a draw down at Adelaide Oval. It was something. It kind of felt like the Matildas were a bit off all game and then got that last late minute goal. But, we're all out. We're all having a good time.
Hey, I still think looking at that goal, when we got that goal in, the last minute?
The last 30 seconds, something
still
like that. Yeah,
went off. I mean, everyone banded together. Looked like great energy for that bit there.
Yeah, but after the Matildas obviously went out and had a few nightcaps and had footy the next morning. So I've gone to footy and...
Can I just say, the term nightcap isn't warranted as nightcap when it's a few nightcaps. The point of a nightcap is to have one drink and go to bed.
Well, I wasn't sure what my nightcap was going to be. So
bedtime keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah, essentially. So I have a couple nightcaps and then I go home and get some sleep and then get to footy and... I'm a little out of it, It's early. I haven't quite come with it yet. And it's about the first quarter. And this ball comes in, contested, I punch it, lose the ball, and then it comes down and bonks me right on the head.
Jeez, a bonk on the head with the ball in front of a crowd is always no good.
Yeah, and it was right in front of the of the other team's benches.
Oh, so you're a prime target.
Oh, I'm prime target for a bit of abuse being held out. And somebody yells out to me, "You look more scrambled than an egg out there, mate."
Yeah.
It's
with a few... It's an old one. It's not one of the classic footy sledges, really, and, a lot of people do go for the classics, bit of swearing, whatever.
It stumped me. I had no way to respond to that. I was like, you know what? He's right.
One of those insults that you have to always praise the creativity of the bloke who yelled it and think, geez, it's a bit obscure. Don't appreciate it. I wish no one said it, but hey, you did, and it was a bit out there.
And I got to say, local footy is definitely a breeding ground for some of these great sledges. Some of the all-time greats come out at local footy, but I'm sure it comes out at all different local sports as well. And I'm going to open up the text line, and I want to know, what was the best sledge you've heard? It could be the local sports, it could be a professional sport game. I want to hear, what was one of the best sledges you've ever heard? Maybe you were the one that said it, and you reckon that's the best sledge you've heard. We got this text in here. Somebody said to them on the footy field, "I'll bury you." And they responded, "You wouldn't know how to lift a shovel."
Yep.
Classic one.
Good one.
Yeah, off the whim.
All for the classics as well. Sometimes you got to go back to them. Someone said, "Did your boot get caught in your skirt?"
Yeah, another classic
I'm sure you'd hear
one.
that a bit.
Yeah.
This one's crazy.
This one's a bit creative. I don't mind it. Got called a sniper's nightmare because I was walking around the field with a limp. Was even more shocking because it came from my own coach.
Can you imagine thinking, oh, that voice sounds a little familiar? Turn around. Yeah. It's, the man or woman that's meant to be instructing you on whatever sport it is. Your go-to is just insulting you from the sidelines. I've got this one here. I've got curly red hair and constantly get called Carrot Top.
Yeah, it's right.
Carrot Top's such a niche one these days as well. I feel like, he was popping off in the early 2000s. You don't really hear about him that much anymore.
This next text sent me in the break. It says, "The umpire needs to go to OPSM. Zing." But the Sledge is that the umpires need to go to Specsavers because that's the sponsor.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Change it up.
Messed up that Sledge.
How about this one? A bit of a historical one. Blast from the past. Someone texted in saying, "What about when Michael Voss said to his brother Brett, 'My dad slept with your mum last night'?"
That's one way to put him off. Got another one here. "Shouldn't have worn the white shorts." After, got a bit scared in a contest, someone yelled out to him, "You shouldn't have worn white shorts."
Hey, pretty obvious one there. Also, this one here, lastly, it is a classic. One of the players said, "Why are you so fat?" And the other one replied, "Because every time I'm with your wife at night, she gives me a donut." Was classic, hey.
This one just came through. "You're shaking more than a Tickle Me Elmo." This woman with a bit of a strange hobby. And, sometimes you look at people's hobbies and you think, why are you doing this? And I think this is one that we probably need to stop.
Especially when it gets to the news level. Surely that's when you turn around and look at your hobby and think, wow, if it's newsworthy, it's a little bit odd.
Yeah,
Do I stop it?
It just feels like this person has too much time on their hands. Well, she's been obsessed with Lego for 33 years, this mum, right?
Sure.
She, every Christmas, gets a box of new bricks. And she decided that instead she wanted to build something that her kids could go into. But without being able to make it structurally sound enough, she decided to go on a smaller scale and make dog houses for her dog out of Lego.
Purely Lego dog houses.
Now, these things
still doesn't sound structurally safe for the dog either, though.
So that's the thing. These things, one, they're all different coloured bricks. So it's a bit of an eyesore. It's really just in your face. And second of all, yeah, it just does not look structurally sound. And it's kind of a big dog too. So I'm thinking, by the entranceway for this doghouse, right? It's pretty skinny. If this dog's going in there wagging its tail around, I feel like it could easily tear this whole house down on top of itself. Yeah,
you need something quite big. It's like when people with really big shoe sizes have to order special imports. Is she getting special bricks for her Rottweiler to make sure that, it's structurally alright and isn't going to get bulldozed down?
Well, she just apparently gets new bricks every Christmas. But, it takes her 10 hours to deconstruct it. So she'll make one, and then every couple of weeks she'll have an idea for a new doghouse, tear it down, takes her 10 hours to tear it down, and then builds a brand new doghouse. And the last one she made was 6'1" tall, 5'8" in width.
Wow, the Taj Mahal of doghouses in her backyard.
Literally.
I don't know, stick to tennis or something, just easier hobby, cheap.
Geelong, the greatest team of all. The West, red, white, and blue. They're from Tigerland.
Fresh footy tipping on Fresh 92.7. Sponsored by Thirsty Camel.
Yes, Callum, our footy tipping competition is well underway now. You can still join up if you are doing your tips online on the AFL website. But the winner for this takes home $1,000 thanks to the legends at Thirsty Camel.
Yes, this is huge. And what I will say is that a lot of the top contenders, the people in the top 10, they're pretty rigid. A lot of them haven't moved, so they're all contenders for winning that stack of cash.
It's a tight competition, all thanks to Thirsty Camel for unseriously good deals this footy season. Shop online or drive through your local Camel. Now let's get into some of the games. First of all, we kicked off Thursday night. Port Adelaide taking on Carlton here at Adelaide Oval. Carlton won that game by 36 points. It was
Shocker.
71 Port to 107 Carlton. They were just too good for him on the day.
You know what? It was pretty tight for a lot of it, and then it did slip away at the end. So a bit disappointing there, but upheld a good game up until that point.
Next game, Friday night. It was Collingwood taking on the Bulldogs.
Jeez.
Now, Collingwood had a pretty fast start, but they just kicked a bit inaccurately, kicked themselves out of the game ultimately to lose by 18 points. It was Collingwood 82 to Bulldogs 100, but it doesn't come without cost. With young gun Sam Darcy, he's been offered a 2-match ban for a late hit on Collingwood's Braden Maynard. So he was probably the second favourite for the Rising Star Award. And it looks like he'll be scrubbed out of that unless they try and appeal it and he gets off.
Yeah, probably.
Now, of course, the other Adelaide team, the Adelaide Crows, also lost by a similar margin, actually. They lost by 27 points to Hawthorn. It was Hawthorn 107 to Adelaide Crows 80. I think they only kicked 2 goals in the first half, the Crows. Tex is off injured with a back. He's been struggling with back injuries for a while now. So he went off early. And, it just was not a good day for footy.
You know what as well? The last 2 Hawks games have caught me by surprise for them to pull up in front. It's pretty impressive for them considering what they were doing at the start of the year.
They had a very slow start, but they're starting to find their groove, which is good signs for them. Next game, this is a big one as well. West Coast Eagles taking on St Kilda. Eagles were up for most of it, but St Kilda just proved to be too strong at the end there. But the big thing is Harley Reid. He was obviously the number 1 draft pick. He's way far ahead in for the favourite for the Rising Star. And he as well has been offered a 2-match ban for a sling tackle that he did.
Jeez, all the bans going around this round, hey?
Yeah, so it looks like he could be out of the contention for the Rising Star. I mean, he's just an unreal player too. The second half, he had 17 disposals and 4 or 5 clearances or something ridiculous in the first half. Second half, only had 3 disposals after he got heavily tagged. Imagine a 19-year-old being tagged at AFL level. Absolutely unreal. The next big game as well, Freo beat Melbourne. by 92 points. Melbourne
this
49,
was
Freo 141.
This one was a huge shocker as well. Thought, Fremantle could come out swinging and just get ahead a little bit, but didn't think it would be that drastic.
Yes. Now to have a look at how we're actually going in the tips, Callum, it's not been a good round for us.
No.
You were in charge of the tips this week, and you got us one win.
It's hard. There was a few twists and turns in this one.
We were sitting 270th. We have moved up to 329th spot on 64 points. We are just ahead of Kale and Mags, who are sitting on 335th spot on 64 points. They only got 2 tips correct this round. And Taylor, she got the most tips correct. She got 3 correct out of the 3 of us, but she's sitting in 359th spot on 63 points. So she's just 1 point behind us. And then the shout-outs, number 1 spot, it's not a tie anymore. Zach B on 78 points is there in number 1. Kelly R is sitting in second on 77, and Great Dane 75, or Dane S, is sitting in third on 75 points. They're starting to get a bit of a difference in tips there. They're starting to pull away a little bit.